and welcome. I am absolutely delighted to have me, Relocation Caines here from Payton Jewell Caines. How are you?
I'm really well this morning. How are you?
Absolutely great. Fantastic. And I'm doubly happy, obviously, coming at this from my kerfuffle point of view, but I do have a few different hats. In fact, I'm not wearing one today. But obviously, what I'm delighted to be talking to you about is from the Relocation Agent Network side of things. Really, really pleased to say that you've recently joined up with us. And I just thought it'd be really nice to get an understanding of, the things that kind of appeal to you. Because I think we've got so many wonderful testimonials from people who have been with us. Literally, some of them have almost been with us the entire 30 years, way before I was involved. But actually, you kind of saw what we were doing and got involved. And I was quite interested to understand what appealed from you. But just off camera, I was just laughing because you admitted that you were, am I right in saying you were a little bit skeptical about this kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always getting, sales calls. This will be good for your business. That'll be good for your business. We can help you.
Yeah.
So
from people like me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I was a bit dubious at the start.
Yeah.
Thinking this is just another one that they want me to pay money, and what am I going to get out of it?
Yeah.
But after doing a bit of research, talking to the guys that you work with, talking to some of the agents that are already on board, and more importantly, I think I looked at the stats of what is happening in the UK market at the moment. And whereas many, many years ago, and traditionally, it's always been quite an insular market, I think people moved within sort of 5-mile radius.
Yeah.
Looking at the stats now where people are moving, and probably post-COVID because they've been able to flexi work and work from home, etc.
Yeah.
All of that changed. So
it's amazing.
I did my own I did all my own research as well.
That's incredible. That dynamic about. I mean, you just to put for people who don't obviously know Payton Jewell Caines, you got 3 offices. I'm right thinking in a wonderful part of the country down there in South Wales.
We are,
Again,
yes.
That that thing about where people are more mobile, that ability to work from home, I would imagine is even more measured for you, isn't it? Because actually, that's such a wonderful part of the world to live in.
It is, and we're close to the coast. We're only a few miles away from the coastline. And just post-pandemic, we found a lot of people coming into the area wanting to get more for your money. It's a cheaper area of the UK, but also just to have the Heritage Coast on the doorstep.
Yep.
A lot of people wanted to get out to the city life.
Yeah.
So we did find that we were dealing with a lot of people who were coming, quite considerable mileage and moving into the area. So when you look at that and look at the stats and actually looked at our data and who we were dealing with, I did kind of think, okay, well, this is worth a conversation. And that sort of grew and grew. Went to a couple of the meetings, met other like-minded agents, and discovered that actually, yeah, this could be really good. This is probably something I need to get involved in. And here we are today.
That's great. And what's really interesting is when I saw those stats, and we have got some of those exclusive stats from some of our partners that show, the actual size of the opportunity. And it's one of those ones where, being really honest, from a supplier point of view, it looks so compelling, you almost have to take the edge off it, don't you? Because you look at those figures. But what I was really interested in you saying there is, that sounds like though that's what you're experiencing in your business and in your offices anyway, that there is this, lots of people are registering who are outside of areas. So that's the only way you can tap into that potential revenue stream, that opportunity, isn't it? If you're, I mean, look, we're not the only network, but obviously we're the one that's been renowned for being the referral network for the best part of 30 years. So unless you're going to kind of, as the Americans say, leave that money on the table, that this is really probably the only way you can do that, isn't it?
Absolutely. And not only that, it's about giving our clients the best property journey that we possibly can. We can help them on their onward, but we can also help them when they come to sell, if they're coming out of area. So it's about offering the best customer service that we possibly can, and hopefully then the testimonials will come back that we offered the sort of the whole package, so to speak.
I think that's, and as usual, I focused it on the money. I avoided saying you just need one more listing because you just shouted at me there. But that actually, what you came back with, it was the thing that should be, one of the key factors, if not the key factor, is that you're actually looking after your clients as well, aren't you?
Absolutely. They have to come first.
They have to come first. And let's not forget is that so many agents, if they're honest, I was talking to many this week who admitted, the minute that there's an applicant with a property sale not in their patch, you know, that horrible phrase, which is well overused, oh, they're tire kickers or anything else like that. Do they bother to even put the same amount of time and energy into registering, putting all that details on there? Well, that's all well and good, you know, but actually it will leave a bad taste in the mouth of the person who's obviously, you know, who's had that experience. And dare I say, it leaves them with that kind of classic, oh, well, it's just estate agents, isn't it? Whereas you're really making sure you're looking after their whole move, you know, whatever part of the process they're going through with you. So
absolutely. And moving house is so stressful anyway. If I can say those words, I can help you, I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, really, really good. And look, it couldn't be any better timing as well. And I promise I'd love to be able to have the power to affect this. But even before you came on board, we placed a lead with you. And I believe, that's just gone through?
Completed about 10 days ago. So we had a referral from one of the RAN agents. I went out, valued it. We got it on the market, sold it relatively quickly for a great price, and it went through. Actually quite swiftly, which is amazing in this market, but it worked. And I think that was the icing on the cake for me, actually. That really was the tick in the box that said, yeah, I think this really could work for us.
I think, and one of the things we've always prided ourselves on is that actually RAN, although it's got some of the very best companies and agents in the country, you know, and every penny needs to be justified. But actually, the membership fee is not as onerous as many people think, because actually, there's always been that perception about trying to deliver on the value through the referrals. I mean, without giving away, obviously, I don't pay too much attention to GDPR, but give some context around it. Where was the lead moving from? What was it? Was it a local kind of one? Was it in the?
It was from an adjacent postcode, actually, but it was further west. It was down towards Swansea. Buyers have been out viewing with Dawson's. They picked up the phone. We got the referral. I went out, I think it was 48 hours later, met with the couple, and we were on the market the following week.
And was it made easier because Dawson's had essentially managed to tee you up? Was that absolutely?
It was a soft introduction. And already I knew something about their journey. I knew where they were wanting to move to. I knew a bit more about their circumstances. And that's always far easier to walk into and offer the best advice you can to help them on their way. And also because I've now got the relationship with hopefully their onward agent as well. That synergy when it comes to progression and sales progression makes it a lot easier.
So this really is a sign of, you know, that kind of overplay the point, but collaboration and teamwork.
Absolutely.
It delivers for everybody. It's delivered for the referring agent. It's delivered for you, obviously, as the listing agent. It's delivered definitely for I mean, it would be wonderful, actually. So we need to put more time and energy into this, but understanding as well from the client's point of view that, you know, that's that rather than it having this horrible kind of disjointed thing, that joined up approach, again, must be really quite nice from their point of view.
I hate to use the word seamless, but in this instance, it did seem to be a seamless operation.
We're claiming all that then. But yeah, look,
nothing to do with us.
But you mentioned Dawson's. Obviously, the guys there are absolutely fantastic, and I think this is one of the other key things as well, isn't it? When you are working collaboratively like that, you need to know you've got the very best agents, don't you? And I think knowing that when you look across, you look down in the south, down in the southwest, and across, obviously, over in Wales, you've got fantastic agents in particular down there. But you've also, if you are giving a referral out, kind of going the other way as well, you need to know that that is going to be serviced by a good agent, because in a way, your reputation is on the line, isn't it? And I think hopefully from your point of view, that confidence comes from seeing the sort of people that are in the network.
Well, absolutely. And I need to get to know who are the other agents within the network, and I'm sure that'll come with time. But already we're identifying potential outward leads as well. And it's something that's very much on our radar now. We are looking a little bit more closely at who we're dealing with, who we're talking with, and how we can help.
Excellent. And so you literally just because you literally just joined us, you've just gone through the onboarding process. How did that work?
It really well. Everyone was very much engaged, quite excited about it. It's a sort of a new string to our bow, but in changing times, it's something that everyone can really see is going to be a big benefit to us.
And there's, obviously we've focused almost all to date in terms of that collaboration and the ability to to help with the out of area referrals, both from a client service point of view and from the revenue earning potential. But one of the big ones, I think, that, you know, do the teams see the benefit of actually just in everyday pitches being able to say, look, we've been exclusively awarded the license for RAN in this area, and that genuinely being a USP? Because, you know, again, going back to my prop tech world, we're buggers for saying, oh, look, this is going to be a USP, and then everyone down the high street has that same prop tech supplier. But this is one where genuinely it does stand out from the crowd, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's wonderful to have that USP, something that we've got that no one else can really challenge. And particularly now we've actually got circumstances where I can prove it's worked. And that it's about working with the strongest agents, like-minded agents, and again, giving the customer the journey they deserve.
Magical. That's really, really good. Well, obviously fantastic you've had this start to the process, and I mean, and all the staff kind of on board with it as well. They could all, because
they can all see the benefits, and they're all really excited.
Because it's not you know, sometimes I famously fail to understand you know, some of the solutions that are out there, but this is one that's absolutely second nature, isn't it? You can understand this really, really
it's
simply.
just asking a question, really.
Yeah.
And it's second nature to us anyway as agents, is to ask what someone's position is. And if it is out of area now, we now have the tools to be able to say, well, actually, I can help you there. And I think that's really powerful.
I think that absolutely does. And we've obviously again, I'm hearing the resplendent. I don't wear the RAN stuff because it's a bit more, it's more one of the more serious brands. They tend to wear black tops, but obviously I'm a bit more of an alpha.
I love the pink.
But one of the things you get is obviously we like to always as well leverage supplier benefits where we can do as well. And you took us up on the offer of like reviewing on sort of the tech stack and the CRM side of things. Do you see that being valuable going forwards? Is that something you're going to find helpful?
Absolutely. It's a minefield. There are so many suppliers out there offering very, very different but same. It's a CRM package is there to collect the data and to give the best service. But actually to fit our company and the way that we work, it's a long old process actually trying to find one that we can match with. And it's been invaluable help actually having other agents and yourself obviously to bounce ideas off and ask questions and try. We are actually shortlisting, and we're close to finding one that we think is a good fit for us.
Well, that I'll finish off finally because you've been so helpful and generous with your time. But that point again, isn't it, that any time, because you're never competing with another agent in the group, being able to by just buying a supplier is always a leap into the dark. So being able to tap into the Dawsons around you, or the FBMs, those great brands, all these great brands you've got around you, and saying, guys, we're thinking about going with XYZ supplier. You know, have you got any thoughts about that? What would you have done differently if you did go down there? Again, just a nice sort of nice added benefit, isn't it?
Absolutely. And with, you know, it's still a tough market out there. So just to have somebody at the end of the phone or to be able to do a Zoom call and find out how other agents are sort of battling different circumstances it's such a helpful thing to be involved in.
Amazing. Is there anything I've left out? Was there anything that sort of you saw around the RAN solution that was there, or have we pretty much nailed it off there?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Looking forward to the next regional meeting. It always, even from the last one, it brings up. I come away from those meetings and my head is buzzing. It's just such a useful thing to be able to table whatever is going on in individual circumstances, and we're all very, very different in terms of our makeup, but actually we're all working in the same industry. That's so it's I'm finding that just the information sharing is invaluable.
Yeah, because we were talking about supplies, but it's everything, isn't it? You know, again,
it's everything. It's dealing with staff, it's dealing with tech, you know, how you deal with sales progression, solicitors. Everyone, we're all experiencing exactly the same, but we're all looking at it from slightly different angles and coming at it with different solutions.
And sometimes, like, there's a few of these kind of support groups, advisory networks and things there, but you know, a lot of those ones sometimes are you're dealing with people all over the country, and that's great to hear from it. But actually, although you're not competing, having all of those people in that same area as you, that you will be experiencing on the whole, you know, common themes, won't you? Which again makes it even more relevant, I would think.
Absolutely. And as time goes on, we're going to find ourselves working even more closely because we're going to be involved in chains together. That relationship is just going to grow.
You're great. And going forwards, you're working closely with Adam, who's our fantastic BDM down there, and he stays in touch with you. Does he keeps you up to speed with everything?
Oh gosh, if I don't get an email or a text from Adam, probably 3-4 times a week, something's wrong.
Okay, right. That's great to hear. I mean, I do think, you know, so many people focus, don't you, on tech. And what I love about this business, I mean, my other one, Kerfuffle, is pretty much all tech. But what I think RAN works perfectly on, it's a perfect combination of looking at tech for the right reasons, but the people process as well behind it. And
we are a people business, without a doubt. It very much is about the customer service and about the client's journey. And it's about picking up the phone and that face-to-face personal relationship. And I think that's what I'm buying into with this as well.
Excellent. Well, look, and just, I suppose, finally, so would you recommend anyone out there that is, you know, not part of a network, likes the idea of maybe looking at some kind of how you can look at making these out of area referrals work, supplier benefits, all the things we've spoken about? Would you suggest having a chat with the guys there?
Absolutely worthwhile having a chat. I mean, obviously it's very early days for us, but we've already had one success, so I'm hoping we can build on that. But as long as there's no agent in my patch that's going to have a conversation, then I'm happy.
It would be a bit two-faced of me now to sort of wink and say, come and have a chat with it, where you've got it. You know, you've got that. That's absolutely great. Catherine, I couldn't be more pleased to have you both in the network. It's like amazing, genuinely. I mean, I'm going to try and Southwest in particular is always a great group. I think you've got between 20 and 30 people kind of turning up there at those ones, which is amazing. But I really pleased to have, you know, the strongest of independents like you guys are on. It's what makes the network, always has made the network be that's something different. And so look for, as I know, early days, and I'd love to keep checking back in with you and finding out how you're getting on.
Great. Look forward to it. We're really excited.
Excellent. Today, thank you very much. Cheers.
You're welcome. Have a good day.